Here's the wildlife on High Prairie Acres. Let's see what we can see. Oh, hi, Sister Kate.
Hi, YouTube. Welcome. We are just going to do a real brief overview of our fowl and our chickens today. We've walked into their area. We keep it fenced off from the main part of the yard, mainly because chickens will scratch and peck and destroy things like your bedding plants and move your mulch around. We have many varieties of chickens running around the yard. We have barred rocks, which are, most people know, the kind of striped ones, the black and white ones. They're an older, heavier body breed. And right next to them are two of the brown rocks, I think they're called. They are also an older variety and heavy bodied, and they're supposed to be the kind that will sit on eggs and hatch them out. And those are the two survivors of the 10 we ordered last year, and the rest of them were slaughtered. And so we're counting on those two girls to hatch us some babies this year. We also have a red rooster. He's been the rooster here for a couple of years, as you can see by the size of his spurs. He's not real aggressive towards people, which is nice. And he will alert us to things that are not going right, or predators and such. We also have 4 ducks. There's 3 in the foreground and 1 over by the pond. We believe she may be an older duck. She tends to keep herself separated. Her boyfriend can be, I think, a little too much for her, and sometimes her leg is sore for her, so she kind of keeps herself separate. But they have started to lay eggs. We have them mostly for meat, and we're hoping they reproduce, but they haven't. They lay eggs, but they haven't fed on them yet. So we may end up incubating some of their eggs. And we had duck for dinner last night, and it was pretty good. So we know that it's edible and palatable. You will see that the coop is a mess in the front. That's mainly because we've had these chicks that you can see running around. There are 25 of them. Hi boys, what you doing, chickies? 25 of them, and they are to be eaten later. And they're just now old enough to come outside and be smart enough to come in out of the rain. It's these guys who were hypothermic last week and had to be blow dried in order to revive them. But they know my voice, and so they know if I'm out, there's going to be food, and they run up to me, and that'll be useful later. The coop that you see behind you is one that we made. It has the laying nest boxes outside, so we can go check them without having to go inside. There's also a door at the back of it for cleaning it out, so I can go in that people door and then open the cleaning door. Oh, here's a very lovely black snake who's been in eating my eggs.
All right. Well,
So
we're going to take a little break and deal with him, and then we'll be back.
Whoa, is his head over there?
Yeah.
I'm going to grab it over here. Got him. Okay. Are you videoing?
Yeah, come on out. You can just bring it out. Hey, come on out. Well, we weren't planning for that to happen, but hey, that makes exciting video, I guess.
Here we go.
We no longer eat snakes.
Now that we know they're unclean, we don't eat them, but this is not a poisonous snake, even though he wants to bite me.
Okay, I'm going to zoom in on his head. You can keep talking.
With the color on his back, you know he's not a poisonous snake. He doesn't have the saddle or the butterfly pattern, and he also does not have the pit viper-shaped head. This is a common occurrence during the spring and summer months. I believe that the snakes smell the eggs, and so they're attracted to them, and they will come and they will eat several.
And you're not going to let me shoot it? Why?
Because they're actually useful. They will eat mice and rats. I just don't want him eating them right here in my coop, so we'll take him somewhere else and let him go and let him do his job. They will also eat small chicks, so if you do have them, you don't want them to stay there. So we'll be back after we drop this guy off, and we'll continue our video.
Let's see if we can film this. We really need 4 hands to do this, but Don't let him bite my hand.
He won't.
Woohoo! All right, now close the top, and then just pull that tie tight and wrap it around the top. There you go. Just tie it in a simple knot.
Can you hear that? See it fluttering right there? He's trying to pretend he's a rattler, but he's not. He doesn't have the fangs, and he doesn't have the markings, and he doesn't have the head shape, but it will pretend, and it's been thumping its tail and making that buzzing noise.
You can just hang it on the fence right there, and then we'll go about our video, and then we'll take care of it. You can take your gloves off if you need to work the knot better.
Hi, we are on the Release the Snake trip. We're on a bridge at a local creek near us, and we like to bring animals out here because it's kind of away from people, so it cannot be a threat to anybody else's coop, but also there should be plenty of wildlife out here for it to eat. And so I'm just going to let it out of the bag. And then Pastor Joe kind of wanted to get a look at how big it was. And there you go.
So lay down there next to it, sweetie, and what we can see
I'll definitely do that.
how long he is. Try and get you and him together in there.
Or her. We don't even know if this is a female or a male.
I think it's a cobra. Look.
Well, if it had done the hooded thing earlier, maybe, but I'm fairly sure that's a black snake. Or a rat snake, or
It's a big one.
a good size one.
All right, you got to get off the bridge, though, Snake. Come on.
He wants to check out the area first, though, before it starts moving to make sure it's safe. And if you notice how it moves, it just contracts and expands its muscles.
There we go.
Kind of cool.
Okay, now you can stand over here. Never mind. They can see how big it is. That's a big snake.
It's kind of coiling itself around me too, kind of like a constrictor does, but it's not a constrictor. It's gonna go get on that tree, or maybe not. It's got to make sure it's got room. It's got a safe place to go before it commits fully. Whoa! Bloop.
You can't really see it.
It's on the tree, and now it's heading down into the weeds.
Oh yeah.
Bye, snake. Enjoy eating frogs and mice and stuff. Bye, you two.
Hello, Sister Kate.
Yes.
Have you caught other snakes before?
I have. Every spring and summer, I usually catch at least one black snake. They're usually in the coop, and they're usually eating chicks or eggs. And sometimes there's two. Sometimes it's male and female.
Have you ever eaten snake?
Yes, we ate snake once when our daughter wanted to know how it tasted. So we caught a black snake that was rather large, and we cut it up and skinned it and baked it, and it tasted kind of like chicken.
Would you eat snake anymore?
No, now we know that it's an unclean animal, and so of course we would not eat snake. And I kept gloves on while I was dealing with that snake, so I didn't actually touch it.
Good idea. Anything you want to add to the snake story?
We've also had some trouble with copperheads, and at both times when we killed the copperheads, or at least 2